Hey friends, welcome to Rhubarb Patch Studio. I'm Leah Noel and this is Lenny. I think he thinks someone is here. So anyway, thanks for stopping by and choosing to spend some of your day with me. I'm trying a new spot in my house and we'll see how this goes. Not totally, not totally settled here yet, but we'll just see. I thought it would be nice to kind of have my plants in the background. They're bringing me a lot of joy lately, so. Anyway, like I said, thanks to all of you who are stopping by today. If you're new here, I hope that you see something that you like, that'll keep you coming back. And then if you are one of my longtime subscribers, I just want to thank you so much for your patience in my postings and my irregular posting schedule. Right now I'm just doing it when I can and not really holding myself to a strict timetable. So, anyway, I've had a busy couple of months. I forgot to write down, I'm looking in front of me at my planner here, my stitching calendar. I forgot to write down the last day that I filmed, so I don't know exactly. There's going to be a couple in here that I'm not really sure if I showed it in my last video or not. I just didn't have the wherewithal to go back and check first before I started filming, so I figured it would be fine. But anyways, I know I filmed roughly at the beginning of February, so what's happened since then, we've had some good stuff that's been keeping us busy. We had some house guests for several days, and that was great. And my son Otto had a whole week of spring break in March, and my husband and I were just laughing about that because we never got a whole week. But I'm glad that they get a whole week now because I think everyone kind of needs it around this time of year. And then let's see, Otto tried wrestling for the first time this year, and he really enjoyed that, and I think we'll do it again next year. Let's see what else. That's, just stuff. It's been a little tricky to find alone time to film these videos because a lot of times my sister will work from home, and it's just a little bit, I don't know. I can't film when other people are in the house. So, between my sister, my hubby, and my son, it's maybe not as easy as I thought it would be. Okay. So, I think he thinks I'm talking to him. I think you do. Okay. So, what do I have to show you today? I have 3 finishes, if you can believe it. I've been putting long stretches of time into my whips, and I am going to show you kind of a lot of whips today, but not all of them have been getting a solid chunk of time. But anyway, let me just show you what I've been working on, and I'll start with the finishes. This first finish I am really excited about because it is actually a wedding gift for, let me put it over here. It's a wedding gift for a good friend, and we are actually traveling this coming weekend. I think I forgot to say it is the first week of April already. I don't know how that happened. But we're traveling this weekend to be present at my friend's wedding, and I'm very excited about it. We're going out of town for it. So my friend is, he's an old coworker of mine, and he loves strawberries. They're like one of his favorite things in life. So when he told me that he was getting married, I just immediately thought of this pattern, and I went out and got it and kitted it up and decided to make some personalizations. So this is the model photo. It's Scarlett House by the Scarlett House. No, Strawberry House by the Scarlett House. And the model is meant to look kind of antique-y, but you know me, I like to brighten up colors. So, so I did that, and okay, bear with me. We're using a book today because I don't know where my sheet is, but okay. So here is the finish, and I'm super happy with how it came out. This fabric is called Petite Four by Wabi Sabi. It's Wabi Sabi fabric, so that's Kitten Stitcher. I have not seen this color come up since I purchased it, and that was, I think, a couple years ago. I actually have another piece of Wabi Sabi fabric in the mail right now, and I'm hoping that it'll be similar to this color. And if it is, I'll definitely let you know. But this is like it's almost a purplish gray. Yeah, it is. It's almost a purplish gray. I don't know if you can really sense that from the lighting today. But I brightened up the colors in the called for colors. And let's see, what changes did I make? So I put their initials in the roof. This is just there's nothing charted in the roof at all. So, so I just put their initials in there. And then I put the year in the door. So that's a 2-4. And I used the same yellow, like goldish yellow that's in these strawberry seeds, but they didn't quite pop off of the door like I was envisioning. So I backstitched it with the brown, this brown. I changed the door color to the strawberry red. It's supposed to be this, like a brown. This is not called for brown. And then I changed the dog to look like their dog. They have a dog. And I just changed it to look like their dog's coloration. And I put my initials symbol down here in backstitch. Yeah, so aside from all of that, I think, you know, I changed all the flosses, I think. Maybe. But I really, really love how it turned out. So I wasn't sure if I was going to have this done in time, and I still am not totally sure if I want to bring it to the wedding, because they're requesting no gifts. So I know there's not going to be like a gift table or anything that I can just drop this off, and so I think I might end up mailing it anyways. But my executive function skills lately have just not been up to snuff, and so normally I would buy a custom frame for this, you know, something like, I don't know, ornate. But I decided, since I finished it in time to go, you know, to take it to the wedding, I thought I might just get a cheap frame and let them know that it'll be easy to swap out if they decide not to use it. But I just ordered a picture frame. This is I think this is a 5x5, because I think that'll be okay. So it'll fit in a 5x5. It's just under 5 by 5 inches square. So I think it'll be fine. It's not my first choice frame, but I think it'll be okay. And so hopefully, hopefully I'll have time to make like a video that I can just insert into my next update so you can kind of see what the finished product looks like. But anyway, that's this. And 36 count, if I didn't say that already, but 36 count, 2/2 petite four linen by Kitten Stitcher. They're Wabi Sabi. It's a Wabi Sabi linen. All of my own flosses. That's it. So now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put all this stuff. All right, so you're gonna see me reach over here, and I'm sorry about that if it bothers you. Okay, next finish. So March 8th is International Women's Day, and I really wanted to film a video that day, but I just decided not to. I wasn't really in the right headspace anyway. So I had this chart in my collection, and this is called the Humility Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. And I have not seen anyone stitch this before, so I don't know how common this is. But when I first saw it, I just really, I just really liked it, and I just had to get it. This border, I'm not usually a border person, but this border just really speaks to me because of how, just irregular it is. And it's just flowers and like a pretty vine, and this blue just seems to pop, and there's so many things I like about it. The words, the charted words say, "Whilst I am young, oh may I be clothed in humility." The words themselves did not totally jive with me, so I changed them. And I started this on International Women's Day, and then I stitched it exclusively for a week, and I finished it exactly a week later. So let me show you. Let's see. Let's see if this will work. Nothing is ironed because I don't have an ironing situation right now, so. Okay. That works so well. Just pinched it on the top of the book and then I'm pulling it down, so. Okay, so I used the called for greens. No, I didn't. I want to say hang on. Cucumber. Oh, actually, I think I did. Yes. Okay. I used the call for greens, but I changed the blue and the other two colors, the pink and the pinky brown. The way it's charted makes it look super antique, and it's just, it's just not totally my aesthetic, but I did want it to be soft and feminine. And so I stuck with the two greens. They are a little bit antique-y, and changed the blue to something that I had in my collection. And yeah, the brown, the reddish brown in the words are also all over the flowers. So that's kind of why I went with something else, because the charted colors were just very brown and not rosy enough for me. So I just did what I did. And then I changed the words to say, "Whilst I am young, oh may I be strong and courageous." Because, well, I don't know. Meek humility, I don't know. I think maybe that's overrated sometimes. Don't hate me. Okay, so I didn't change anything else except for the flosses and the words and the date and my initials. But yeah, this is my International Women's Day start and finish. This linen, this linen is 36 count dirty porcelain by Roxy Floss Co. I haven't used this dyer very much, but I really like this linen. It's very, very nice. Very nice to work with. I think I used one strand. Yes. Okay, so I used one strand over two for all the colors because I did want it to be softer, you know, softer and more feminine. So anyway, there it is. I really like it. Really beautiful. So that is my finish number 2. I'll put that there for a second. Finish number 3, I don't have a chart to show you because I got the PDF file online. This chart, it's not normally, it's not totally in line with stuff that I normally stitch, but this is called It Rubs the Lotion on Its Skin by the Witchy Stitcher. And I'll put a picture of it here. So this is a movie quote. And, you know, like my husband and I, sometimes we have a sick sense of humor and we say this to each other sometimes. And so when I saw the pattern, I really wanted to stitch it, and, you know, just for fun. And also like, I have dry skin on my hands and I need to use lotion, but I forget to put lotion on my hands a lot. So when I saw this pattern, I thought to myself, if I stitch this and I put it in the bathroom, like, you know, maybe it'll help me to remember to use lotion. So, I decided not to do the border. I just did the words, and so it was a very easy start and finish. It was one kind of floss. I think I brought it out here to show you, but I can't find it right now. Here it is. Lava Stone by Color and Cotton. It's like it's a purpley, dark purple. It's one of my favorite of their flosses to use for dark colors. Because from a distance, it almost looks black, but it's a purpley black, so I just really enjoy it. And then this fabric is 32 count farm eggs, which I believe is a Kitten Stitcher exclusive fabric by XG Designs. And I've had this piece of fabric in my collection for several years now, and so the scent is gone. I'll talk more about that, I guess, with another one of my things. But it rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Yeah, if you get it, you get it. So I actually have a frame for this already. My hubby and I were shopping at Home Goods. I don't know if Home Goods is everywhere, but I was shopping specifically for this quote. I had it all measured out, and it fits perfectly in a 5x7 frame. So I was looking around for a frame, and you know, I think this will go pretty well. So Anyway, my hubby and I were shopping together, and I was looking at the frames, and I showed him the picture of what I wanted the frame for, and he goes, "Oh my goodness, are you stitching that for me? You're stitching that for me." So I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm stitching it for you, but we're gonna put it in our bathroom." And he's like, "I like that idea. Okay, let's do it." So he helped me pick out the frame, and then technically this is a gift for him because we're weirdos, and that's okay. I'm okay being weirdos. Okay, so those were my 3 finishes, and yeah, I'm feeling really good having finishes. Like, I just have been really pushing for more finishes, and it's been feeling really good. So I haven't been starting much of anything. I started one other thing since I saw you last, so that was, I guess, technically 3 starts since I last saw you, but two of them are already finished. The third one won't be, but anyway, so that's been kind of my goal, is to finish things. I'll share this one next. It's Pavane for These Times, and this is not a finish, but it is a page finish, and I'm stitching this with my friend Jenny, formerly known as Long Dog Stitcher, and we do a page together. It's not really monthly, but just whenever, like, we just stitch them together. So we stitch one page at a time, and then when the next, when we're both ready to move on to the next page, then we start that page together, and so on. So there's 9 pages total, and this is the last page that I've completed. And did I show you a picture? It is Pavane for These Times. I don't have the model photo with me. I couldn't find it. But I'm also not stitching the border. So there's a sawtooth border, and I'm just not stitching that because I just don't have the patience. But at the top, I did decide to do this little bit here. So let me pull it in here for a close-up. Okay, so that's the middle center page, top center. I am doing this kind of lacy bit up here. They kind of look like, I don't know, the sort of wavy, but also kind of like fern, like when ferns like curl out. They kind of look like that to me, but anyway, I love this one. This is on 40 count. 40 count, it's color and cotton. I think it's like a one-off die, like a limited edition or something. I don't know. 40 count linen. It's a very light blue. The floss I'm using is 1 strand of Silks for You PR 132. It's a beautiful tealy blue, and it's just coming out really watercolory, and I just absolutely am so loving it. The quote says, "Turn your face to the sun and the shadows fall behind you." And so I think this will be a great piece for me to finish this year and put this year's date on it. All right, so those are all my finishes and partial finishes, sort of. All right, here's another one that I don't have a cover photo for. This is actually not cross stitch. It's a Bargello stitch. It's a Bargello sampler by Mary Hickmott, I believe. the information will be below in the description box. I always list the name of my projects and the designer so that you can find it too. And then if I ever mention any Flosstuber names, I will also put those down below so that you can find their channels. I also list all of the shops that I mentioned down below in case you want to find those shops yourselves. So I always find that really useful when I'm watching other Flosstubers, especially when I was new to stitching and new to Flosstube. But anyway, this is Mary, I think it's Mary Hickmott Designs. Sorry. And it's a Bargello sampler. I chose my own colors. And I'm learning, this sampler, I started this sampler so that I could learn this stitch. And then after I finish this sampler, I'm gonna do a Hardanger sampler and teach myself Hardanger. So that's kind of the plan. I thought this would be going faster than it is, but it is actually a lot more stitching than I thought. But so this is where I am. I think the last time you saw this, I might have been working on this square up here. So since you saw it, I've done this one, and I started on this one. And this is really fun to do, and this is a really great project for me to pick up when I just don't have the bandwidth for counting, but I still don't like, okay. It's not as monotonous as fill-in stitching. So, you know, fill-in when you have a huge chunk of cross stitching and you just are filling in, that's all you're doing. This is similar, but it's not quite as monotonous as that, because you just pick one color and you just go in the line and you don't have to count or anything really. You just do it. It's just a bunch of satin stitches. Let me get really close so I can kind of show you. So this is a Hardanger fabric. I think it's 22 count. Ada. Yeah, because that's the Hardanger fabric, right? I got two cuts of this when I first got this pattern. I got 2 cuts of this Hardanger fabric with the intention of starting with Bargello and then moving to Hardanger. I've been talking about doing Hardanger for a couple years now, because I've been thinking about it, and I just haven't been patient enough to try it by myself, you know, just I have a book, I have scissors, I have the fabric, I have the floss, I have everything I need. I just need the headspace. That's been hard to come by, and I just have to do it. So I told myself, finish this and then do the Hardanger, because I think I can finish this year. Definitely this year. If not, like, I don't want to put a deadline on it, otherwise I'll tell myself to, you know what, and then it just won't get done. So I feel like I'm rambling, but this is the Bargello sampler, and that's my progress. It's been a nice project to have on the go. I keep it next to my stitchy spot. Okay. Ugh. Okay. All right. I don't know if you have seen this yet or not on the last video, but I did work on this for 2 days in February. This is Wilbur by Teresa Kogut. Kogut. I'm not doing this frame, this border. My picture, like when I frame it, my frame will be snug up against the stitching, so it'll be fine. This ear will look totally normal. Like I said, I did stitch on this for 2 days in February, so I'm not really sure if you saw this much progress or not. And the reason I decided to show it is because I remember I actually did a lot of stitching when I worked on it for only those 2 days, but I put a lot of stitches in those 2 days. So if I didn't, then this would be a lot of progress to not show you. And if I did, then you just get to see this again. But I am color completing this chart because of the way it's charted. It's hard for me to read a little bit, and so I just think the easiest thing for me to do is to color complete, and it's small enough that I can do that. It's technically 111 by 111, but there's so much empty space. I think that the 111 is the border, not the actual pig. So I forget what just the pig count is, but this is a 36 count fossil linen by Picture This Plus. It's a beautiful manure brown. And I'm stitching it 2/2 with all the called for colors. This fabric is really dark. I just want to point this out. I use a ball tip needle. Okay, let's see if I can get it close enough. Can you see the ball on that tip? It's just the tiniest little nub on the end of the needle, and I find that is the only way I can stay sane while stitching on dark fabrics, and it helps so much. I can't tell you, it helps me so much. They are thicker needle, so if you prefer like the thinnest needle, this might not be as comfortable for you to hold, but I don't mind a thicker needle. I don't know, I just think that it's just so useful. So anyway, there's that. This is another one. I don't know if I showed you this last month or not. This is from the booklet Southward Bound. I am doing timber mallards. So there's 2 patterns in here. The first one is wood ducks, which I also plan to do, but not until I finish timber mallards. And this is a Leisure Arts pattern. It's out of print, but I'm pretty sure you can find it easily on eBay. Okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm stitching this on 32 count Cauldron by Picture This Plus, and I absolutely adore how it looks on this fabric. And let's see if I can get it to look. Okay, so that's my progress. Since you saw this last, if you didn't see it last month, since you saw it last, I have finished the entire upper half of the pattern. So where this line is and up is all completed. Back stitching, cross stitching, everything is done. So very excited about that. And now I'm just working on the bottom half. It's spread over like 4 pages. But the stitching is like definitely a lot thicker on this page, you know, versus this page over here. So I really love this. This is actually another stitch that I'm giving to my husband. He really loves photorealistic designs, and we both love ducks. And in our new house, we actually have a swamp behind our house, and we're really hoping to see lots of ducks. I've already seen Canadian geese back there, and there's tons of blackbirds. And yeah, so we're really looking forward to watching all the wildlife back there. Okay, next one I want to show you is I stitched this on February 24th. This is World Peace Angel by Lavender and Lace. I spent forever and a day putting this pattern into Pattern Keeper. Like I have a program. I just sat there and transferred this into my design software, and then put it into a PDF file that Pattern Keeper could read, so that I can keep track of my stitches. And I don't think I could stitch it otherwise. Like the paper folds out to be like this big, and I just don't stitch like that anymore. And you know, just like hunting for all the different symbols, like I just wasn't, it did not excite me, you know? And so I spent a long time putting it into Pattern Keeper, and now it's so easy to stitch on. That said, I haven't put a lot of time into this yet, but I do plan to. I started in the middle so that I would have enough room on this fabric. This is 32 count Salem linen by Picture This Plus. No. It's by Color and Cotton. Salem by Color and Cotton. I don't know if they make this anymore. I don't know if they dye this color anymore. But I just really like it because, I don't know, it's purpley. It's purpley and outer spacey, in my view. And I think that the colors will go well on it overall, see? So I started in the middle. You can see this around here is the middle. And I just worked my way up to her head and her hair. That's something I learned to do from Stitchin' Mommy. When I first started watching Sarah with Stitchin' Mommy, she was doing the Winter Queen. There's some kind of queen that's Christmassy and wintry, and I just remember, like, this is something that she always did, is she started in the middle and she worked her way up to the head, and then that way she could work from the top down and get the head done, and then it was like stitching with a lady. And so that, I think that'll work for me on this one. So I'm just trying to get her hair done. I got a few colors in her hair. She's a big girl. She is very large. I don't have the stitch count in front of me, but let's see, this is going to be all robe, and this is just a tiny little shadow in her garment. So this is going to be a big one. Big. So I stitched that for, I think, just a day. Yeah. World Peace Angel. Okay. she'll come out more and more, I think. I just don't know. I'm trying to focus on whips that are closer to finishing so that I can kind of feel more accomplished and, you know, get some whips off my plate. Okay, next up, let me show you this one so I can put it away, put it to the side. This is Virtue by Lottie Da. I'm not gonna write Virtue there. I'm gonna pick something else to put. I haven't totally decided what, but I'm just gonna customize it to my own liking. But I'm also only using, I think, 2 of the called for colors. They're the dark ones. The roof and window color is called for, and then the tree color is called for. So those are the 2 called for colors that I'm using, but the green, the red, the brown are all different colors, just from my collection. This is on 40 count AO by Picture This Plus, 1/2, and I've put so many hours into this project. I've put so many hours into this. It's a lot of stitching. It's so much stitching. What is the stitch count? 150 high. Yeah. But this is all solid stitching in here. And then I still have to do 2 chimneys and then finish filling in the brick and the window, and then there's back stitching over the window to give the window sashes, I guess. Sashing, right? I forget. So you'll see my brick color is pink, and so the fruit and the tree is also going to be pink. That's okay to me. That'll be fine. Is it blurry? So you see I brightened that up quite a bit. But really liking how it's looking. It's a mix of DMC and overdyed thread, and yeah. It's just a nice easy piece to stitch on. Like, it's not too bad as far as filling in because the bricks really chop up the fill-in. The windows and the door and the roof are all, you know, just pretty much just gotta get through it. But on some nights when I just want to zone out for a little while, like that, it works. It's been working for me all right. So I do the border as I go because otherwise I'll get burned out on the border. There's several colors in the border, so I just do one color as long as it'll take me, and then like I'll work on the house, and if the color in the house is also in the border, I'll just finish my floss on the border. You know, that's just kind of how I'm doing things. This design is like a solid stitching, so you can take one full length of floss and you stitch the entire length. And so what I do is I just go length by length. So I'll pick one color, I'll just sit down and say, okay, I'm in the mood to stitch this color, and so I'll stitch one length of that color, and then I move to another color and I stitch one length of another color, and then, you know, back and forth, just on and on. And that way I don't get bored, and it works. So I'm really enjoying this. I think I could maybe finish this year, because this house is the majority of the stitching, so should be okay. We'll see. Oh well, you never know what your what our year is in store for. I don't know. Just sometimes it gets super busy, like just out of nowhere, it feels like. Okay. All right, I'll show you my travel piece. So I take this in the car with me. This is Autumn at Hawkrun Hollow. Currently, this is the only one that I have out that is, I don't know, doable for me in the car. It's on Ada. It's on 16 count Ada. I can do Ada in the car, but since I finished my seashells, I don't really have a good travel project. And so I've been thinking about starting something new, but I don't know what to do because this is a lot. It's a big project to take because I have a huge wad of fabric. Let me show you. I have just this huge wad of fabric and all of the like 100 flosses. It's not quite 100, but it's a lot. It's like 40. And so I just have to unroll it. I don't know. It's just a lot to take on a trip. So I know you saw this last time because I showed you the finish of the block, the first block. The first square block, I should say. So you've seen this recently. Let me get a good grip. I'm trying to say grip. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Okay, we're just gonna work with it. Okay. So you saw this finish, and I don't know if this border was completed when you saw it, or if these were started. I know I started down this one recently, and I decided not to jump to this block next. I decided to do this one next because it's gonna be the pig. Can you see the pig with the apple baskets of apples? Okay, let me put this down for a second. I'm changing the order. I'm taking 4 squares out and I'm changing the order. So I'm taking out this one, this one, this one, and this one. And so I will be doing this one. I'll change the words. I'm not really sure what yet, but I'll figure that out later. So I'm also changing the order. And someday I'm gonna have to, so I photocopied the layout and then I cut out the squares. So this is the pile that I'm not doing. This is the pile that I am. So someday I'm just gonna have to like actually tape them onto a poster board so you can see what the layout is. But I did put the layout here. Anyway, these two are gonna stay in the places where they're designed to go. But this one I'm moving up to here. So this one's going here. So between this one and this one, I felt like this one was less stitching, so I decided to do this one first because this was a lot of stitching. And this is going to be maybe even more stitching. Look at that. So anyway, I haven't got very far yet because I haven't done a whole lot of car stitching, but or you know, just I haven't been doing that. Plus it's out of season, so I don't know. This is a 16 count Haven by Picture This Plus. It's a discontinued fabric, I think, because they couldn't get the dye anymore, or like the dye changed or something. I can't remember. So it's gone. Sorry. Last one to show you is a new start. This is kind of, okay. Okay, I had a new start. It's a big start. It was for Leap Day, okay? Me and Jenny were texting about our Pavane for these times, and she told me that she was starting a new long dog on Leap Day, and she showed me the design, and hers is, I think, 20 pages. It's a 20-page long dog. And so I was like, oh, 20 pages, you know, are you going to do 5 a year? She's like, yeah, I'm going to do 5 a year. And I'm like, that's awesome. And so I thought, you know what? I actually have a couple long dogs in my stash, in my collection, that are ready to be started. And this one has been kind of calling to me. And it has 16 pages. And I thought, okay, Leap Day start with Jenny again and other people. I know a bunch of other people do Leap Day starts. But this time, you know, just a broader goal of 4 pages per year, I think I can do that. So I started Ragnarok, okay? So the fabric, I got this fabric specifically for this design, with this design in mind anyways. This is called Jack-O-Lantern. It's 36 count Jack-O-Lantern by X2 Design. And you know what? The color is coming out pretty well on the camera right now. It doesn't normally. So the camera also defines the splotches a little bit more than they are in real life. Like, they're not, it's more blended. It's more blended in real life. But you can see it's like orangey, you know, it's a tan with orangey spots and then like splotches, dark splotches over the top. So I got this with Ragnarok in mind, but Ragnarok has all these cool, like, figures. There's animals, there's a huge ship, these cool people down here, you know, leaves. And I decided that I would want the fabric to be, like, I want the fabric to show through these animals. So I'm stitching the negative on this pattern. And it's a little crazy, I think, but it's working so far, and I'll show you. But it's designed so that all this black is where the stitching is, but I'm doing the reversal. So where all the white is, that's where I'm stitching. And the fabric is going to show through where all the black is. So I thought the only way I can make that work is if it's on 36 count, so that I can stitch in hand using the sewing method and use just 1 strand of floss instead of 2. Because when I use 2 strands on 36 count, generally I like to use a frame, like, or a hoop or something. Generally, that's not, you know, it's not a hard and fast rule, but just generally that's what I prefer. And with 1 strand, you can just whip it out just with the sewing method. So I did it. I started on Leap Day. You need a fat half if you're ordering standard size fabrics, because you need just a little bit more than a fat quarter. On 36 count, you need a 22 by 24 inch fabric. So, you know, that's like 4 more inches than standard quarter, fat quarter. So this is a whole fat half, and so far it's working out. I decided to use DMC. I do actually wish I had a silk that was this color, because silk is a little fluffier and gives a little bit more coverage, and I think I would like it better, but I'm just going with it. And I think once it's all said and done, it's gonna look good. So this is what I have so far. I started, okay, since I didn't have a lot of room for error, I decided to start in the center bottom of my fabric, because I have more fabric this way, but I don't have more fabric to play with on either side here. So I decided to start at the bottom, because I start my stitching at the bottom usually if I can. If it makes sense. That's where I like to start. So the bottom center, and these figures just really catch my eye every time I look at this design, so I decided to start with them, and just to see, like, all right, just see how it looks with the or see if it's possible for me to stitch the negative, and I think so far it's working out just fine. I just have to highlight. So this is the page right here that I'm starting on. And yeah, so it is working out pretty well. Yeah. So you can see that the stitching is a little bit sparse, you know, with it's one strand over 2 on 36 count, just DMC, so it's not super fluffy. I'm using 3371. Okay, so it's almost black, but it's not black. It's very brown. It's a dark brown. I wanted it to look, you know, like old leather. I mean, the fabric. So, like, I don't know. I can't explain it right now. But do you see what I mean? The stitching you can kind of see is a little bit sparse with just one strand, especially as I move the fabric around, you can kind of see. But I don't know, because from a distance, you're really not going to be able to tell how sparse it is. So I think it'll be all right. But I'm having fun with this. And the only thing is that it really kills my left hand to stitch in hand for a long time. So yeah, I can't do it for like super long stretches of time. But those are all my whips. Normally I don't share my purchases with you. It's a lot of different reasons why I don't. But normally I don't. But since we just had market, I thought I might just share the few pieces that I decided to purchase from market, and you know, just kind of talk about that a little bit. First, I guess, which one should I show you? So, all right, I'll show you my 2 favorites from market this year. My first favorite is called One Stitch at a Time by La Di Da. I think La Di Da is like one of my favorite designers, sneakily. Like, it just kind of like is sneaking in there, like, oh, I think this is a favorite. Because I've now stitched several La Di Da designs, and I'm just attracted to the designs. I mean, it's just, but I'm owning it now, is what I'm trying to say. Is like, I've recognized it. I've recognized it, and I mean, apparently it must be so. Like, this is a favorite designer of mine. So, okay, One Stitch at a Time by La Di Da. So this, I don't love this saying. It says, beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't speak to me really. So my plan The other thing is I don't love to stitch the same motif twice. And I'll have to check the pattern, but I'm pretty sure this is like stitch count wise, this is the same motif, just in different thread colors. And what really attracts me to this design is all the robins. I love all of these robins. Like, look at all these adorable little robins. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to only stitch this much and not the words. And I'm going to move this little guy over here and still stitch one of these like little flower thingies. I'm not totally sure, but this might be, I might be starting this soon. And then as far as the words go, I'll either remove this little decorative thing and then like put something here, like our name, maybe our family name or the year or something. I'm not really sure yet what I'm gonna do, but those are the ideas that are floating around in my head about this one. But I also thought like it might be kind of a nice companion to this one, color-wise. You see, like color-wise how it might work out. So yeah, I have the other half of this fabric to work with. I had a fat eighth of this fabric, so I have the other side of this. It'll fit on here, and I don't know, I'm thinking about it. The other thing I was thinking about doing though, this is my second favorite thing, is this one. It's called "'Tis Spring" by Brenda Gervais. I think a lot of people got this one. Instead of saying spring, I'm gonna change this to friends. So hello friends, because then I can just keep it up year round near my entryway. I think that'll be good. And this is another one that kind of has a similar color palette to this one. So I am considering putting this one on the other side with the same colors. I don't know. I'm not sure. This design only has 5 floss colors, so either way I would need to add to the color palette, but those are the thoughts that are running around in my head. And then, so those were my 2 favorite, and I got those from one of my favorite sellers who is on Etsy. Her shop name is The Cottage Needle, and I'll link that below. I love ordering from her. She sends a needle with every purchase, which I think is just such a great, it's just a great little incentive. And she shipped them right away after Needlework Market. I was able to pre-order these 2 designs, and then she shipped them right away, and then with a needle, and I got a handful of flosses too. From her shop. So anyway, I order from her pretty frequently, and I highly recommend her shop. So give her shop a look out. But let's see, Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches, she did a whole like series of videos just going through some of the designs coming out at Needlework. Needlework Market. And it was just really, it was fun to watch, and I really appreciated the time and effort that she put into making that video series, and so I also wanted to support her shop. And so I got this sweet design called Hedgehog and Hyacinth from the Blue Flower, and this calls for cottage garden threads, which is pretty exciting. I actually really love cottage garden threads. They're getting easier to find now, but still not quite, they're just not quite as prevalent. But I got 2 skeins as a gift once, years ago, and I really loved them. So I think I'll go out of my way to try and find these. Phrase, Conservatory, and Echo are the 3 cottage garden threads that this calls for. But Janine gives you DMC alternatives. But super cute. So anyway, I got that from Lindy Stitches, and then she also had this market exclusive from Talon Emblem. I love the looks of Talon Emblem designs. I've always been super attracted to the way that they look. I've never actually stitched one, and every time I get to the point where I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna buy it, and it's gonna happen. I talk myself out of it, and I don't know what that's all about. But when I saw this, I was like, okay, well, it's a market exclusive. That means not everybody is gonna have it, and it's not always gonna be around maybe or available, and I do really like it. Especially, I think I would do this one, but I think I'll do it on a dark blue fabric, and possibly play with the colors. I'm not really sure yet. You know how I do. But I'm looking forward to this. This is just DMC. And I love seeing Talon Emblem finishes. I've actually seen some in person at StitchCon, and gosh, they're just so gorgeous. More people should stitch Talon Emblem so I can appreciate them. Stitch vicariously through you. So I got this. I'm not sure. I love these birds. Look at these birds. So you can get this from Lindy Stitches, and I haven't seen it elsewhere, so I don't know if this was like a shop exclusive or if it was like a market exclusive and you can get it at your LNS's, or I don't really know. But I know you can get it at Lindy Stitches, so that will be down below in the description box as well. Okay, well, that's all the stitching that I have to share with you today, and I'm not really, I don't have anything else that I want to share from my personal life, so yeah, that's basically where we're going to end today. So I thank you for hanging in there this long, and if you're not subscribing yet, I invite you to, if you liked anything from my video and you want to see more. I do not post on a strict schedule, so ringing the bell, whatever, clicking that bell thing can be useful if that's something you're interested in. It's really the best way to know when I've posted something again. But I'm gonna do my best to, I'm shooting for filming once a month, but like I said, it's a little bit hard to get alone time lately, and so we'll just have to, we're at the whim of life, and that's totally fine. So anyway, thought you'd like to see my little plants over here. I've got some more big ones behind me. This fern, oh my gosh. I'm so proud of myself for keeping this fern alive. This is a maidenhair fern, and gosh, I love her. Okay, that's it for now. And I hope you're well. Wherever you are, I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. And I hope you're stitching a ton. Okay, till next time, take care.